Psychobabble, oh, psychobabble. You're out in the sea, now it's fading to black. I threw it away, 'cause I don't want it back. I don't care, it's all psychobabble
Kylie Rodney is not Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney is Kylie Ross. Kylie Ross's dad is fake Kylie Rodney's grandpa. That sounds fucking crazy. Yeah. So one piece of evidence that was thrown out there that everybody was like, what the hell does this mean? Was everyone keeps talking about this Be Real app, right? I've never fucking heard of it. Have you? No. I've never heard of it. And if you look it up, it's like it's the biggest thing ever, when really it's fucking not. So if you look at the evidence that's been put out, there was a picture that came out where it's the girls in the car lean back, and there's a supposedly Kylie Rodney like with them or whatever. That's the picture everybody's saying, yo, that girl looks dead. So if you go back and look at the actual first Be Real post, and you take it and you turn the contrast down and turn the sharpness up, you can see the name of the profile.
And that is just the beginning. How's everybody doing? You know, we got about, how you doing, Shauna? Man, everybody, appreciate you tuning in. You know, I got about 1,000 subscribers, probably from the Otter Creek, What the Hell's saga. And I just want to make sure everybody's up to speed of where we're at, you know. And some of you may or may not know, Upchurch is a pretty talented, some would say gifted, country rapper that has a unique lyric that speaks to anybody that grew up in the country, riding dirt bikes and going hunting and getting in trouble and that sort of thing. And that's a lot of us. And his music resonated with a lot of people, and he got popular real fast on social media. Pretty funny guy too. He was a bit of a successful comedian on Vine. Before Vine was bought out and then done away with. And then he transitioned to YouTube and started doing music, had a good 4-year run of success. A lot of good songs, good hits, did a lot of collabs with a lot of great people. And then, you know, in my opinion, due to very poor decisions, lack of a professional manager, lack of a professional accountant, things just sort of went haywire. And a lot of chaos ensued. And then we got to where a 16-year-old girl was reported missing in California. She'd went to a high school party at a very well-known party destination. You know, as we all know, every town or every community has like a place where the kids go party. And that was Prosser Family Campground for the kids of Truckee, California, a small town. And she had went to that party and failed to come home. And her parents reported her missing. And Ryan, for some unknown reason, decided to turn his channel into a true crime investigation channel. At that point, he had 3 million subscribers. I would say high 200,000 views per video. And he decided he was going to investigate this missing girl case. And the only problem is he was abusing, some say meth, some say Adderall, but obviously, painfully obviously something. Sleep deprivation, and just went off the deep end and just started saying wacky stuff, accusing innocent people of heinous crimes. He singled out, so this girl, she doesn't come home from a party. The police search the campground and they do a search of the water. Now, as you know, small town police departments are, they're not funded very well. And for some reason, I guess some people, meaning Crack Squad, Ryan Upchurch, the small fan base that he has left, Creek Squad was a group of hardworking, Christian type, family oriented people that were a fan group of Ryan Upchurch and we no longer associate with him. But he does have a fan base left known as Crack Squad, and they are the laughing stocks of YouTube. They've destroyed their credibility, destroyed their integrity, destroyed their honesty, their reputations, their image, all of it to simp for Ryan while he was talking out of his mind, running around the internet, using his social media influence, a 3 million subscriber channel, and his fan base as a weapon to attack people that he decided were involved in this missing girl case in California. So, and I kid you not, he pops in some podcast one night, and a lot of these podcasts knew he was talking wacky, so they weren't letting him on. But then he'd send them a $500 super chat. Well, then they'd let him on, So he would buy his way onto these podcasts and talk like he was just the best private investigator that God ever created. And he was solving this case from his keyboard in Tennessee. And he'd just single out somebody else that was like another YouTuber that was interested in this national news story. He would single them out and decide that they were a suspect. And the reason that they were a suspect was because they were talking about the case. That was the reason they were suspects. And then on live stream, he would take to totally 100% doxing them. I mean, phone number, address, Google satellite street view of their house, Google satellite street view of where they work, Google satellite street view of their car and license plate number, just every single thing that he could do, accusing these people of heinous crimes against school-age people. And then all of a sudden, he decided that through his investigations that this girl was not real. She never existed. The parents were faking it to scam some money from GoFundMe. And he made multiple videos proving this case. You just saw the beginning of one of them. And so as you can imagine, he's being sued, of course. And, the oddest thing about it, as to where, how we got where we're at today, the oddest thing is the family filed a defamation suit against him, rightfully so. He has certainly caused them damage. He has, because of his fans and encouraging his fans to pile on, his entire fan base has slandered these people and is still slandering them today. And he goes about 6 months without bothering them, and then he pops up again and starts slandering them again. And this family is guilty of nothing but reporting their teenage girl missing. And these true crime, so-called true crime YouTubers just wreaked havoc through their lives. And Ryan Upchurch being the number one player next to maybe Zav Girl, just put an absolute, utter, slanderous nonsense out there. And there was no alleged, there was no I think, it was I know, I am the best investigator there is. No other true crime investigators are as good as me. And this is how it is, A, B, C, D. Girl's not real. The parents faked it. They're scamming GoFundMe money. The police are in on it. The press conference, a secretary for the city attorney's office decided to be the press voice for the community. And so she would give a press briefing, and they even accused her of being involved in the case. It was just anybody that talked about it was a suspect. And I mean, he was serious. They labeled a 2-time female war veteran, who was a person that had moved here from Ukraine, served 2 tours of war in our military, and had recently moved her family here. And he singled her out, accused her of selling school age people. Flat out accused her of it, and his reasoning was she had a purple LED light. And it wouldn't be a big deal if he, accused some YouTube screen name maybe, but no. First, he completely doxed her. And when I say completely doxed her, I mean in every way humanly possible that you could dox somebody, he doxed her. Her and her family and her mother. And then he encouraged his fans to pile on, and they did too. And she was physically, real life, stalked by one of his fans who followed her and threatened her and came by where she was at, and for real stuff. And then he accused another YouTuber that's been on YouTube for quite some time of the exact same thing. And that guy is suing him. And he keeps giggling and laughing to his fan base, like trying to pretend to them that it's no big deal and, and all this. And it is a big deal. He's being sued. I look for the jury to award the Rodney family about twice what they're asking. And if there's a conviction in that civil case, the second civil case will be a breeze, which is the other YouTubers coming right behind him. His suit's right in line behind it, just like weeks. So I don't know. So we're going to shred his most recent video, because just the ridiculousness that it is. Somebody has to do it. It has to be done.
Podcasts and YouTube channels, they've really exploded in popularity in the past several years. But is there a limit to what people can and cannot say in discussing theories around crimes?
Well, there's this thing called freedom of speech, so no. Plus, if you don't want people to make comments on this crime that is true, by the way, whatever that means, then don't make it entertainment for YouTube.
So, right off the rip, it's like you you got two things to think here. It's either he's just trolling, thinking it's all funny, or he really believes this shit. It can't be both. It can only be one. And that's just pure nuttery. What he just said, just pure nuttery.
Crime that is true, by the way, whatever that means, then don't make it entertainment for YouTube.
Who made it entertainment for YouTube, Ryan? The Rodney family reported their daughter missing. The news reported it. And then YouTubers, see, there was one named Ryan Upchurch. There was a YouTuber named Zab Girl, a couple other people, and then every other true crime channel were the ones that were talking about it. Nobody made it a show for YouTube. You YouTubers talked about it on your channel like you knew something. Like you sitting in Tennessee would possibly have even the remotest fucking clue what took place at a teenage party in California. And there wouldn't be nothing you could pound into that fucking keyboard that would teach you a single thing. Everything, every clue, everything you thought was something you concocted in your mind. None of it was true. Not a word, not one shred. And the Rodney family had nothing to do with you guys making a mockery of it on YouTube. You guys did that. You true crime community, that's who did it. And Ryan inserted himself in it at 1,000 miles an hour and claimed to be the king of it. And was drawing a very large audience on his live stream while he doxed people like it didn't matter. He accused a 16-year-old girl. He accused her of being a body double for the fake Kylie Rodney. He fully doxed her, put her pictures all over his channel and her image, street view of her parents' house, street view of where her father worked. And her father had to send the police to Ryan's house to get him to take down the images of his minor child. His minor child. And you think, well, how did he get access to a minor child's social media? Because, you can't jump on some, 14, 15-year-old girl's Facebook. So he found somebody young enough to get access. And then took pictures from her social media and plastered it all over his adult YouTube channel, accusing her of being a body double in a missing girl case, using her real name. And he literally makes a video like this, acting like it's all funny and a mockery, and it's just they're suing him because they want money.
So yeah, I'm going to comment on your YouTube entertainment. Tough shit.
WSMV4 investigative reporter Stacey Cameron looked into a federal lawsuit facing a Nashville YouTube star and reveals how it could shape the way crimes are discussed.
What I mean is not a federal lawsuit. Your investigator is fucking sucks.
You are in a federal lawsuit. You're in two of them. And they're about to hit the court. And there's nothing to investigate. You put it all over YouTube. All I had to do was watch your videos. And you defamed this family to hell and back. Time and time and time and time again. And you're still doing it. I'm shocked. How is I thought lawyers expected clients to be ethical during the time they're being represented. I mean, it shocks me that his attorney hasn't withdrawn. I mean, he's being sued for defaming these people, but he keeps making videos defaming these people. He calls a news report a YouTube entertainment video, when the only people that put this on YouTube was him, Zav Girl, and about 3 other true crime YouTube channels that got really, really raunchy, just making up the wildest nonsense you could make up. And yeah, you got freedom of speech. Everybody's got freedom of speech, but it comes with responsibility. You're free to slander and defame anybody you want, but they're also free to sue your ass when you do it. You can't say stuff about people that's untrue and damage their reputation, their likeness, their brand, all of it. Can't do that. You can be sued for it.
When 16-year-old Kylie Rodney vanished after attending a party in August of 2022.
Oh, yeah, the party that don't fucking exist, the one that no one has proof of.
It's just unbelievable. This is a high school party with kids that are underage. And he wonders why he can't find pictures of it on because he couldn't find pictures of this party on the internet. That's proof there was no party. Nobody else disputes there was a party, not the parents, not the kids, not the police, not the people searching. Nobody else disputes there was a party. Just Ryan and his fans that believe every word he says. That's it. That's the only thing he's got to go on. It's just, I couldn't find a picture on Google of the party, so it didn't happen. I can promise you these underage kids probably have it all over their social media. You can't see it. You're an adult. Unbelievable.
That party?
Turned the search for her daughter into an international story.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure the TV show that the family was on and a part of, Adventures with Purpose, the entertainment show on YouTube, I think that's what did it.
The Rodney family never once was in any video with Adventures with Purpose or had anything to do with Adventures with Purpose volunteering to come there and search. The grandfather spoke to them very briefly before they searched the water. They're a volunteer organization that did that all over the country. And what's unusual about that? Well, nothing at all. Again, that wasn't on YouTube. You put it on YouTube. Just because somebody records something doesn't give you the right to slander everybody in it. If you're going to say something about somebody using their real name, you better make sure it's true. You can't just make shit up about people. That's why you're being sued.
Investigators in California determined she accidentally drowned.
Well, I don't think the investigators would determine that. I think that would be the toxicology report. Unless.
So now he's still denying that this girl drowned in her car. Nobody else. Police don't dispute it. 2 different police agencies don't dispute it. 2 independent autopsies don't dispute it. A private investigator the family hired don't dispute it. The family don't dispute it. Nobody but him disputes it. But he's claiming that it's because they made it a TV show and put it on YouTube. I hope that that's what he says when he goes to court. God, please, I hope he says that. because it'll be a real short trial, and these people will get their money and be on their way home before you know it.
The investigators have x-ray vision. They can see her lungs through her body.
After driving her car into a lake the night she went missing.
What investigator did you have? Okay, they don't know if she drove it in there, like on purpose. They know that she was in it when it was in the water. She is actually in the very, 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 very back in the hatch. Well, that's according to the YouTube internet show that the parents and everyone was on. So,
just more defamation. More defamation. That's everything that he just said is in his head. Not one thing he said just now is even remotely accurate. There is a video, an actual video, showing her make a wrong turn and drive into the water the exact minute, the exact second that her cell phone quit pinging. And the family was there, and the news media was there when they winched the car out of the water, and she was in.
Unless you got a video of her driving it in there, then she was just in it. You don't know.
We do have a video. See, just because now, this is another funny one, folks. See, it turns out that the Forestry Service, of all things, had a fire tower that was just under 5 miles away. Just under 5 miles away. And it had a roving camera that would rotate and zoom, rotate and zoom, rotate and zoom. And it dawned on a maintenance guy that, hey, that camera in that fire tower points at Prosser Family Campground once a week. I wonder, by chance, did it see anything? And lo and behold, you could watch her pull out, pause for a minute, turn left, drive right into the water. And unfortunately, that happens a lot. I mean, it happens so much. It's so common that there are probably 4 or 5 YouTube channels with 5 or 6 guys that earn a living making videos recovering missing people from the water. I had no idea that many people end up in the water each year in their car, but it is an astounding amount. And you can go on YouTube and see several different channels finding people once, twice a month. They're finding someone in the water that was missing for 10 years or 5 years or 3 years or 2 weeks or whatever. It's so common. And the way that place is laid out, it's a dirt road and the lake's set way lower than the road. And when you're driving at night, and your headlights are shining right out, you wouldn't even realize that road dropped away to water. And you could see her at the very last second yank the wheel to try to turn away, and the car flipped upside down, landed in the water, and sank. And it landed on its side on the bottom. And it was facing, like this being the back. So she made her way to the back, probably had a small oxygen bubble. You got to understand, the minute she hit that water, it was pitch black. So she would have been flipping out, upside down, water rushing in, pitch black in a matter of seconds. She probably felt her way to the back of the car, trying to feel a way out. She can't see nothing. And there was an air pocket, and it lasted for however, and that was it. Happens they find people at the highest point of the car many, many times. They find their way to that last air pocket. They find that in sunk boats and in cars. It's not uncommon. But Mr. Investigator here, the best one in the world, knows more than all of them. He knows more than the police that were there investigating it in person. He knows more than the EMTs that were there investigating it in person. He knows more than the private investigator that was there that investigated it in person. He knows more than all the people that were there at the party in person. He knows more than all of those people from his keyboard in Tennessee.
What happened?
But according to attorney Chris Smith,
they're still obviously grieving.
Rodney's death was just the beginning of her family's pain because true crime conspiracy videos
Show me real proof of Kylie Rodney existing.
That's your
You should be so fucking embarrassed that the one of the first times your image is on television, your eyes are bugged out, you got pupils the size of dinner plates, and you're talking absolute utter fucking gibberish. That was your television debut.
example of a conspiracy? Someone saying, show me proof.
gay. Like this one, posted by Nashville YouTube star Ryan Upchurch,
Where's my cheeks red? I'm a YouTube star.
took the case viral.
You wouldn't be shit without YouTube. You wouldn't be, you'd be like a SoundCloud. You'd be a SoundCloud rapper. If you hadn't moved from Vine to YouTube and built a following on YouTube and then dropped your music, that was very good, by the way. No one's saying it wasn't. You'd still be, your shit would be on SoundCloud. So yeah, your fame came from YouTube. Absolutely. That's what you are. You're a YouTuber that does country rap. You're not a recording artist that does country rap. You're a YouTuber that does country rap.
Big shit popping and little shit stopping. Big shit popping and little shit stopping.
And Smith says when Upchurch told his three
That's how he feels about the tragic death of a family's 16-year-old girl. It's just all a big joke. It's funny.
million followers that the Rodneys faked everything to make money on GoFundMe.
It's a scam.
Big shit popping and little shit stopping. Big shit popping.
The family hired him to sue Upchurch for defamation, claiming his videos caused mental and psychological damage.
Just so everybody knows, the day. So, for some of you that may not know, the police searched the lake. They, went around it with sonar. And you got to understand, these are small police departments. They're not funded well. Most of the police there are probably very young. It's a small town. You're not going to have some highly professional investigator in a small town like that. So the police did the best job they could. I would assume that they probably don't use sonar very often. It's not like the Truckee County or Truckee City Police or the county there would be searching for people in the water with sonar every day. They probably might run that thing once every couple years or something. So they're not experts at it. They looked in the lake, they didn't see anything. Well, they didn't look in the right spot. They looked around the boat launch, assuming if someone went in, that's where it happened. And instead of looking further down this road that kind of dead ended, that's where they found her. And Adventures with Purpose, the reason why, so the police looked, they didn't find her. They opened the park back up to the public. And a girl this female war veteran, she went there in her kayak to look, check the place out because it was all over the news, and she'd always wanted to kayak there, and everybody was making videos about it, and she thought she'd make one too. And he accused her of the most heinous crap imaginable, saying she paddled over the body and all this crap. So anyway, the lake had been, or the park had been open to the public for like 15 days, 14 days or something. I mean, they opened it back up like 3 days later after they had searched it. And Adventures with Purpose, on their own, decided to come there. They finished up a job they were doing, and they just came there on their own. They searched it, and they found her right away because they used this method that they've taught themselves over the years, finding people in the water, is they look at the roads around the water and look for places where if you went off the road, you would go in. And then those are the places they target, and they hit it right. They hit it right, and they've hit it right many times before that and many times after that. They find people all the time. They are very, very good at it. And since that happened, Ryan decided that it must be some kind of a hoax, because why wasn't the car there when the police looked for it? As if the police were incapable of not finding it. But yet we have all this evidence where people are missing for years, and Adventures with Purpose and other YouTube channels like them find them in their car in the water. It is a very, very common thing for the police not to find you if you go in the water in your car. They're just not good at it. It's not their profession. And when you take a group of people they're striving to be the best, and they're running those side sonars every other day, and they're finding cars in the water constantly, sure, they're going to find somebody, a lot easier. But let's move on. I mean, the ridiculousness that this reached, and to see him laughing and cackling about it now while this suit's just about to hit the court, it's just mind-blowing.
Was this before or after they were like, yes, we will be on your YouTube show, Adventures with Purpose? We're ready for people to be open-minded and make assumptions and make theories and, well, be in the comments section commenting.
You think there's an incentive for people to publish these types of videos?
Absolutely.
Well, you should have made it a YouTube show.
If that video goes viral, then you get some.
Again, the true crime channels are the ones that made it a YouTube show. The family sure as hell didn't. Neither did the news.
Subscribers, you get clicks, and you might get money.
Oh, this is about money. What do you know? Money is about money.
Gay. Isn't that pathetic? To know that, to know that, he's this lawsuit is just about to hit the courts. There's two of them, and they're coming one right behind the other, and he's making videos like that. And I wanted to give a big shout out to, I was going to grab you. Let me grab something real quick here. I want to show you guys this. Looking for a certain little video clip. Just bear with me. Let me check something real quick. I think I found it. No, that's not it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I think I found it here. Oh, here it is. Got it. Woohoo. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. There we go. Okay, let me share. Let me share it with you now. All right, check it out. So they're putting this fence up. I want to show you guys this. Two Lees in a Pod is, this podcast that's been helping this lady. There's another cyber bully out there just like Upchurch. He's using his social media influence and his fan base as a weapon to beat up on little people, which is, that's what Upchurch and Crack Squad does. Upchurch singles someone out, Crack Squad attacks them. It's just this repetitive cycle that's been going on for 3 years ever since he started doing dope. And so people have been hassling these guys. So a bunch of YouTubers, Two Lees in a Pod and their fans all got together and they got people to donate the money, and they got a whole fence. Got a privacy fence for this lady. It goes from one end of the lot clear to the other. It's quite a bit. And I had to post all concreted in and put that privacy fence up. I think it's awesome, man. So yeah, cool podcast. If you guys want to watch something, interesting. Two Lees in a Pod and Milltown's Best. Shout out. And Living the Country Life with Thomas Collins, Ray Bone Crusher. All good channels to watch if you want to catch up with what's going on in Otter Creek. The madness there. Yeah, that guy's still a bully. They put a privacy fence up, and the first thing he does is, put a camera up high in the air and take a picture over top of it, which I believe that is an invasion of privacy and is a chargeable offense. When you see like people get involved or people want to help or do whatever, I wouldn't see any harm in anyone finding out what judge it is in Ohio that gave Jeremy Hales a protection order against Lynette, and just send that judge a letter making him aware that Jeremy has done nothing but harass, stalk, and torment these people he sought a protection order from. If you're seeking protection, you're seeking the court's protection from an individual, I don't think you're allowed to stalk them and harass them and follow them and take their picture and broadcast their business all over YouTube and tell everybody what they're doing and where they're going and put cameras on your empty lot across the street aimed at their property and recording what they're doing all day long. And I mean, it seems to me they're the ones that need the protection order. So, if you feel like there's something that would you can do that. Write that letter, that judge a letter and saying, hey, how's this possible? How's this guy have a protection order against these people? Yet he's doing all this stuff to them all the time. Because I don't think he's allowed to use that protection order as a shield to further harass, stalk, and torment somebody. I don't think that's the court's intention. He's encouraged people to call CPS, and they have 28 times, I think was the last count. So yeah, I'll show you guys. This is pretty cool. Check this out. They've been combining this. You're starting to see this all over Asia. I think there is one in Times Square now, but they're 3D billboards, and they're using a pretty unique technology because they're using an OLED screen, but they're using short throw projection along with it. So the screen is in a shadow box, if you will, that's maybe 1.5 to 2 foot deep. And there's probably 6 or 8 short throw projectors around the outer frame, facing in at the screen, of course, and then the screen itself. And they make amazing 3D images. I got some video clips I'll show you. We'll check it out. Turn this down. Pretty cool, though, this technology. And I listened to a tech show the other day, and it turns out that wait a minute. Hold on one second. Stop that one. We want this one. It turns out that they're going to be making a TV with this technology. There's some in the making now. But check out how 3D this is. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, some of it looks so like realistic, it's mind blowing. You just think, how in the world are they doing this? So, yeah, I can't wait to see a TV. I guess it's going to be very similar technology. That's so cool, man. No 3D glasses or anything, This is right on the street, man. That's so cool. So anyway, I don't want to, man, we don't want to hear any Ryan and crying when the gavel falls. Can't believe he defame him more. Still. Well, to be honest with you, Honey Badger, if you're not into country rap, you wouldn't know about him having music. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. I jammed his music quite a bit in 2016, 17, 18, right? Nobody I knew, everyone was like, who's that? Who's that? What do you listen to? Who's that? I never ran into anybody that knew who it was. Always had to tell them. I'm just being honest, you know. YouTube is an odd niche. There are channels out there right now that have, say, 10 million subscribers, get, you know, 1 million views per video or more. And you and I've never heard of them and probably never will. There's singers out there that got YouTube channels with huge followings. We'll never know they exist. YouTube is full of electric music stars, people that make electric music. That is the whole backbone of these concerts they have now, like Lost Lands, where it's a whole weekend thing, and it's like a city, and it's all electric music, and there's the whole scene, and you can't name a one of them. Neither can I. And they're very famous with the people that subscribe to them, and they've got 20, 30 million subscribers. And you and I don't know, never heard of them before. So it's not crazy that this news joint wouldn't be focused on his music. They probably don't even know. They just know he's a YouTuber that was talking smack, you know, about good people, you know, slandering a grieving family, accusing, you know. He just had a kid himself. That's what's mind-blowing about it. And he can sit there and giggle. And these people lost their, you know, a daughter at 16, man. Oh my God. That I couldn't imagine. Man. To be going through that and then have a bunch of weirdos on the internet calling you all kind of heinous crap because of some rapper. You know, it's like he's still, you know, there's not one person that was involved in that case that suspects anything other than a car accident, except him and the stupid people that believe him, the very extremely small-minded fan base. How we doing, man? Go through some of these comments. I had a real good Thanksgiving, man. It was great. Hey, how we doing? John Cook, how you doing, brah? Glad to see you. Glad things are looking up. Big shout out to Lee's in a Pod. Man, I hate what you guys are going through. I really do. Sucks. Really does. Hopefully things will change. Yep. Well, I can tell you why that you're seeing this on the news again. It's because the trial's coming up. And that attorney's going to want some sound bites on the television to remind, the public and jurors and stuff that, this was a very real girl that absolutely did perish in an accident, and her family was tormented by Ryan Upchurch for 3 years. Native J, what's up? How y'all doing? Oh my God. Listen to this. This guy tried this on earlier. I responded to you earlier. So why are you asking that again? So I want to teach you about Ryan's ignorant fan base, how low IQ they are. So first, read this comment. So Ryan, just before the Kylie Rodney case happened, when Ryan first started doing drugs, he had started a label called Holler Boy Records. And his first person that he signed to his label was a young man named Chase Matthew, who saw great success right away, very talented young man. He signed a 1-year contract with Holler Boy Records. While he was with Holler Boy Records, I think Ryan mentioned his name 4 or 5 times on his YouTube channel briefly, and did one feature with him that was very good. Then when the year was up, Chase Matthew decided to sign with a bigger label. So instead of re-signing with Ryan, his contract was up, he signed with a bigger label. And he was interviewed by some podunk YouTube dude, Nashville Magazine channel thing that at that time, I don't think they had 20,000 subscribers, if they had that many. In an interview with that guy, he said, yeah, Ryan's behind me no matter what I do. When the guy asked him if Ryan was okay with him being mainstream. And he said, well, I think Ryan's okay with anything I do. And Ryan took that as a personal insult and started a hate campaign on this kid. The kid that he just signed to his label and told everybody how great he was, and all his little crack squad fans loved the guy. Now that he signed with another label, he's a piece of shit, no good, talented. During the time he was with Holler Boy and he had a record go platinum, Ryan gave him a truck. When he signed with another label, Ryan wanted the truck back. That's how petty he got. And so then Crack Squad and Ryan both started slandering Chase Matthew. Chase Matthew had a friend, a very close friend, that he was friends with all through high school, and the kid appeared in Chase's video. Well, that kid had been charged with underage. He when he was like just turning 15, he had a girlfriend that was 13, and they dated all through clear up until they dated the entire time. They lived real close by, I think even in the same apartment complex. And he would be at her house all the time. She'd be at his house all the time. They were together all the time. And when he turned 18, he broke up with her to date some other girl, and her mom, to retaliate, charged him with underage because he was 18 and she spent the night with him when she was 17. That's what this guy wants you to think is pedo, because that's all they have. Ryan's fan base are like Democrats. If they can't argue any facts, they'll just, instead of calling you a racist, they'll call you the P word. But anybody they have a beef with is P. Anyone. Every single person they've ever had a confrontation with, ever had a disagreement with, is P word. It's a weapon. And all Dagburn said about this kid, because he had this, I think he got like 3 months in jail and like a $2,000 fine and like a year of probation. Okay. For being with a girl that was around 17, about 16 to 17 when he just turned 18, that he had been dating for 3 years. And you want that to be pedo. It's not pedo. It's just not. Just stop it. It's just, you're silly. And all Dagburn said was, well, if he served his time, he served his time, man. We all make mistakes. Which is very true. Well, they literally tried to ruin Chase Matthews with guilt by association because this kid that got charged with underage was in Chase's video. And they all piled on. They were just, man, they were going to take him down because, and now it's went from a girl that was 17 to pedo, which is nothing, not even similar. You need to go look up the definition. But you're dealing with a pretty low IQ bunch. I mean, the sad part is that video that I just reacted to, Orion's, if you go to his channel and you look at that video and you read them comments, you'll get sick to your stomach. Because the simpletons that still listen to him are just in there just praising every word that's coming out of his mouth. Not a one of them's going, dude, that's crazy talk, man. Not a single one. Oh, man, you're right, Ryan. Yeah, man. It's just crazy, man. We tried to tell them that at the time, Beachside. That's why I'm saying I don't want to hear no crime. When he gets wiped out, I don't want to hear no crime because everybody tried to warn him that he's going to get sued way early on. And he laughed and just thought it was a big joke. And just because you can rap, okay, doesn't mean you're wiser than people that are 3 times your age. Someone 3 times your age has been navigating the human experience 3 times as long. So there's wisdom there. Yeah, you got freedom of speech, but you've got to be responsible with it. You can't slander people and defame people. And defamation is a very real thing. There are defamation cases won every single day in this country. Every single day, someone wins a defamation case. And I don't know what his defense would be, especially now he's still doing it. I mean, do it again already. It's just the trial's coming right up. Crazy. That's not going to work because when you're charged with that, there's a thing on there about asset. You can't. That doesn't work. They can go after it anyway, from what I understand. So yeah, you can waste your breath doing it, but they'll follow the trail and come after. I just can't believe that here we are, just about to be 2025, and he's still accusing Kylie Rodney's family of faking, and all the police and the investigators and all the investigators are liars, all the police are liars, all the news are liars, her parents are liars, the private investigators are liars, all the witnesses are liars. The video showing her actually doing it is fake. I mean, you just because you reject evidence doesn't mean it's no longer evidence. Just because you refuse to accept it doesn't change the fact it is what it is. The absurdity, because I started to say, I almost forgot. This simpleton actually suggested him and his silly bunch. They suggest that these people are that the police are faking it, that the investigators faking it, the parents are faking it, everybody's faking it, and suggests that 2 separate autopsy reports are faking it. And then the fire tower video, which is just mind-blowing to me because I happen to know a lot about that technology, okay? And the way that those cameras work is you have the camera and a DVR. And if you don't know what that is, that's a digital video recorder. A camera and a DVR are on location. Okay. So when the camera is filming something, it is being recorded to a local hard disk inside the DVR that's on location. That DVR then is connected to the internet and it uploads a copy of that video to the cloud so that you can access that video from your cell phone and watch it or see it on a monitor somewhere besides being on location, like all security cameras do. And these simpletons suggest that a handful of high school kids, on a knee-jerk reaction to deleting a girl, had the wherewithal to think of a fire tower that was 5 miles away. And they went to that fire tower, climbed up in it, took the original video off the hard disk, replaced it with an edited video that they made, and then hacked into the cloud and took the original video out of the cloud and replaced it with the one they made. At 2 o'clock in the morning, after knee-jerk deleting somebody, and then knowing to go hide her car somewhere else for 2 weeks, and then once the lake had been cleared, search, bring the car back and put it in the water with her in it. And he actually said all of that on video. And then 3 days later, she's not real. They faked it all. It's really a girl named Callie Ross. And it just went south from there. And he's still doubling down on this. And you can't even get it clear out of him. You don't know if he's still on the high school kids did something to her. There never really was a party. I don't understand his conspiracy. There was no party and no girl. So the parents went to the police station and said, "Hey, you guys want to make some money? We got this idea. We're going to fake having a 16-year-old and we're going to report her missing. And if you guys go along with it, we'll put up a GoFundMe account, and we'll split the donation. I mean, that's what you're suggesting. That's what he suggested that went down. But that's the simpleton. You know, it's what do you say to that level of just, I don't know what you call it. The fact that he's had 3 years to reflect back on it, and he sees how bad Crack Squad has damaged his reputation with it, and he's still doing it and laughing about it. So I guess that's why they call it dope, because you do dopey stuff when you're on dope, and that's some pretty dopey stuff. You know, you look at everything that and I'm not ashamed to say that Ryan is a much better rapper than Tom McDonald. Ryan's better at it. His word structure and word choice is better. That being said, he sucks at everything else. Every other thing else, Tom McDonald makes him look like a babbling rookie fool. When it comes to producing, when it comes to the backing track, when it comes to the video, when it comes to the marketing, when it comes to oozing nothing but positivity. So his fans ooze nothing but positivity, following a great, path of success, being creative. Every video gets a little better than the last one. Every song gets just a little tighter in the production area. Each backing track gets just a little cleaner on the instruments and arrangement. And he's just outdone. That guy has been on every late night television show. He's been on every single large entertainment podcast. He's been shouted out on multiple different radio stations. He was shouted out by a future president. I mean, he's blown up. If Upchurch would have had good management and didn't do this knucklehead stuff with this Kylie Rodney case, he could have been 10 times bigger than Jelly Roll and Tom McDonald combined. But, it's funny to watch his fan base. He can barely eke out 30,000 views anymore, and his fan base still acts like he's number one. And Tom McDonald's getting 1 million views in 6 hours, 4 million views in 2 days. I'm sorry, but there's no comparison. And you don't go to his channel and see a bunch of insults and pedo and all that crap constantly. He doesn't make videos slandering people. He doesn't make videos trash mouthing everybody he ever worked with, even if, some things don't need to be said. But, when you've decided that you're going to use your influence as a weapon, then that's what happens. You make it a weapon, and people just aren't interested anymore. Hey, Snaggy, how you doing, man? No kidding. I agree, man. Whew. I can't believe he did this video. I'm truly shocked. That's funny. Oh, look at the maturity level of these people, man. This absolute maturity level of like middle schoolers. I just, it's funny to me that it ain't even the not real. The not real is pretty bad. And I think that is really, really, really going to turn a jury off. Okay. That's going to put a really bad taste in their mouth. But I think the most damning stuff is the long rant where he claims that Kylie Rodney's grandfather is Kylie Ross's dad. And I just want to remind you that when Adventures with Purpose located her, they called the family, and the father and the grandfather came to location when the tow service and the police were there to get the vehicle out of the water. And Ryan went live from his channel, and him and friends sat there and giggled, saying that their tears were fake. The whole thing was fake. Why'd you put a sheet over the car? What are you trying to hide? Yeah. Yeah, and I guarantee you they got that video. They got the whole thing. You know, I think that's the stuff that's going to get him. The slandering stuff he said about the family. Yeah, saying she wasn't real is pretty bad. Well, I don't know, John Davis. You know, I mean, it seems to me that's all you guys do is repeat shit all the time. You know, what would Ryan just do? He just told the same story again. You know the difference between his story and mine? Mine's grounded in facts, and his is grounded in hallucination and fantasy. I don't think it's got nothing to do with that. He's getting sued for slandering, you know, people directly. He certainly defamed her grandfather, Robinson, Mr. Robinson, and pretty bad. Yeah, that's true. Yep. There you go, Chad. If you don't know right from wrong, you can't be a part of something that's positive. You got to know right from wrong first. It's wrong for any celebrity to use their social media influence and fan base as a weapon against smaller people. It's just wrong. It's wrong on every measurable human scale. Nobody should do it. And if you do it, you're a piece of shit. You're just a piece of shit. To talk like that about the death of someone's child is just socially unacceptable. A civil society rejects such things. You can like someone's music and not like what they do. It's like, you know, I get these comments all the time. Oh, you just hate Upchurch. No, not at all. I was a huge fan of Upchurch. I hate to watch him destroy himself and destroy his career. Not understanding that encouraging you people to be filthy. See, he's gotten really filthy and vulgar and accusatory. So you guys do it too, thinking he'll like you. And it's just had this big, huge negative effect on everything. And now he gets 30,000 views. His shit rarely comes up and recommends, and it won't for a long, long time. will his videos ever show up in people's recommends. It's once YouTube starts throttling you, it's going to take a long time to get any kind of views back. And you'd have to just keep it really clean for quite a while. And I just don't see him being capable of that. There you go. You know, isn't that just stupid? Yeah, and he was so ignorant. You know, it'd be one thing if these clues that he came up with, you know, were even remotely valid or even practical. But you know, he's looking at a 10-year-old Google Street View image. 10 years old. It's got a date right at the bottom of when it was taken. And he's looking at a African-American dude sitting on a lawn chair in a garage with a pair of white tennis shoes on. That appears to be 20-something. Now, bear in mind, it's a 10-year-old Google Street View image. And he's claiming that that is a guy that's 20-something years old today. You see the problem? 10 years ago, that person would have been 10 years old. They wouldn't have been 20-something sitting in a garage with white tennis shoes on. They've been a little kid. You know, that's the type of absurdity he was putting out. Just nonsense. Okay, the satellite view of this area in Truckee, California, was 8 years old. So the way Google Street View and satellite image works, you know, you got a satellite that each time it makes a orbit, it's taking pictures of the country and mapping it all, lacing those pictures together. And does the same with Street View. They send actual cars out that drive around with cameras, and they go up and down every street and take a 3D picture and sew it all together. And they can't go down every street every day. It's not live. You know, that it probably, satellite images in rural areas are updated maybe once every 5 or 6 years, if you're lucky. It used to be a lot more. It used to be 10, 15 years, but it's gotten a little better. But you get in like the city where there's a lot of addresses changing all the time, they'll update that frequently. But in the county where there's been no new roads, no new addresses, no new homes built, they're not going to bother updating. So you're going to get old images. And when they were doing the press conference about this case, they were doing it from a brand new police station and community center that the town had just built. It was about 6 months old. Ryan claimed it was fake because when he looked at that address on Google Satellite View, it was just a construction site. But if you look at the date of the satellite image you looked at, it was like a year and a half old when they started breaking ground to build it. And it was almost like he was thinking that Google satellite images were live. And then the other silly thing that he did that I thought was so funny, and I mean it was extremely funny. Prosser Family Campground is in the Tahoe National Forest. The Tahoe National Forest is huge. I forget, I think it's like 45 or 50 miles wide, something like that. Maybe it's maybe more than that. It's big. So some people would say she went missing at the trucker or at the Prosser family campground. Other people might say she went missing in the Tahoe National Forest. Both are true. Because campgrounds in the forest. So if you say she went missing from Tahoe National Forest, that's very true. If she went missing from Prosser family campground, that's very true. They're both the same place. And Ryan thought that was a conspiracy because Adventures with Purpose said Tahoe National Forest and the news said Prosser family campground. That was another clue that made it all fake. By God. And in between, he's making all these videos. I'll show you. You don't believe me? That's fine. He's making all these videos. Oh, you guys got to hear the end of this. Some of you guys that may not have heard this. So yeah, let me put this one back up there. And let's go.
Kylie Rodney is not Kylie Rodney. Kylie Rodney is Kylie Ross. Kylie Ross's dad is fake Kylie Rodney's grandpa. That sounds fucking crazy. Yeah. So one piece of evidence that was thrown out there that everybody was like, what the hell does this mean? Was everyone keeps talking about this Be Real app, right? I've never fucking heard of it. Have you? Lean back and there's a supposedly Kylie Rodney like with him or whatever. That's the picture everybody's saying, yo, that girl looks dead.
Okay, so this picture right here. This picture was on a girl's Instagram that lives in Southern California, and it was taken a year before Kylie Rodney went missing. An entire year before this picture was taken, and it was taken in Southern California with some girls that were out having fun that had no association with Kylie Rodney at all. None. This was just some random photo he found on the internet, searching pictures in Google or something. The sad part is the metadata in the picture would tell you it was taken a year before Kylie Rodney even went missing. He was trying to claim that was Kylie Rodney. And that was actually a girl named Kylie Ross. And they were just having fun. These girls were just acting a fool, and they snapped this picture. And Ryan made it this whole story that she was involved in a body double. And yeah, just craziness, man. And then he
So if you go back and look at the actual first Be Real post and you take it and you turn the contrast down and turn the sharpness up, you can see the name of the profile.
Looky there. Yeah. So instead of looking at the picture's metadata by right clicking and properties and, like somebody with some sense, he just doxes this chick. Okay. So now the only resemblance there was just him saying that they looked alike. Other than that, I can't find any similarity even remotely.
To TikTok, you see how they're wasting everybody's time? TikTok. If you put that name into TikTok, look at the profile that comes up.
He lied. He ate my hunt, but he did it out of spite. He got a wife, but she ain't the one he liked.
What? What's that got to do? This is a clue, folks. And Ryan wants you to know he is way better than any of the other
So
true
if you look
content.
at Kylie, Kiely, and look at her situation and who's around her, look at the grandpa, because the grandpa on Kylie, Kiely's page is the dad on Callie's page. Oh no, you
He tried to say they looked alike. That guy's clearly in, 70s probably. And that guy's in his 40s. But there's one. I hope it's on here, and I think it is. Let me see if it's on here. Excuse me while I hunt for it. Oh, God, I hope it is. I forgot all about it. It's even the more sillier one. That was him flipping out because kids have that app that will erase your braces in your pictures. And he's like, couldn't understand. Oh, it's here. This is it. This is it. Okay. You guys want to see straight up. I haven't been to bed for 4 days. Here you go.
When this lady left, I said, she's suspect.
Now, this is a random lady on a podcast that he paid to go on and tell his conspiracy.
Here is that same exact lady, younger, on the Kylie with the Sea Girls page that looks exactly like and has the same grandpa dad as Kylie with the K.
Now, not only is there no resemblance other than skin color, but I want you to wrap your mind around this. Kylie Ross at that current day was 16 years old. Kylie Rodney at that current day was 16 years old. But he is claiming that girl is a picture of this woman 20 years ago when she was young on Kylie Ross's page. Do you see the problem there? I mean, unless she's got a fucking time machine, I don't know how a 40-year-old woman could have appeared on a 16-year-old girl's page at 16 years old today. Wouldn't that make Kylie Ross 40-something years old now? Oh, Ryan. Jesus. Man, this was bad. I forgot how bad. Wait till you guys see the end of this. You're not going to believe it. I didn't. It made me laugh so hard I had to pee.
You think that's crazy? You should see all the other people on my list that everyone's been looking at the whole time.
Look at them freaking, look at them dinner plates. Whoo! Every single one. Now, he is staring into a ring light, a very bright ring light. You know what bright light does to your pupils, right? It makes them real, real small. That's why mine are all pins right here. I got a real bright light right there. His should be pins. Because by the time you get enough light for the camera, it's really bright in your eyes. And look how big and big. You can see the ring light literally reflecting in the size of that frickin' pupil.
The other people on my list that everyone's been looking at the whole time. P.S. Molly, go lightly. Why'd you end your life? We want to know.
There's another one. This girl did a live talking about the case. Now she's a suspect.
It appears that Molly Go Lightly deleted her live. Good thing we recorded the entire thing.
Good. Guess what I just found?
What?
Pay attention.
You're about to see on YouTube in 10 minutes. I found everybody.
He has solved the case, folks. So listen, he's got it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think you've solved the case?
I solved at least half of it. What information I have, when I put it out, if it's not known, and it will be known then, everything's gonna fucking go nuts.
Now, are you tying up loose ends?
I'm showing you exactly where everything goes.
He's gonna burn it down.
See, these ladies know he's talking out his ass, but he gave money, so they're kissing his ass.
The pictures that are being used are old. They're old pictures of the same person who's involved in the case right now.
Why do you think that this would be happening?
Because it's an easy way to make a fuck ton of money. And the RAM sticker, all this is being done on the computer, right? What does RAM stand for in computers? Random access memory.
She had a RAM sticker on the back of her car because her high school football team is like the Rams something. And he thinks the RAM actually stood for random access memory. Let me back this up. I don't want you to miss this. This is some good stuff. You got to be up. I'm going to say you have to be up for at least 3 days. And you have to like take whatever it is you're taking at least 4 times to start thinking about random access memory. Just saying.
Money. And the RAM sticker, all this is being done on the computer, right? What does RAM stand for in computers? Random access memory. If you get a bunch of random facts that are accessible, your memory's fucked up. Random access memory.
Now, she knows that's absolute dog shit. But she can't say so because he gave her money. It's kind of like watching Kurt. You know, when Captain Kurt was sitting there and Ryan was talking all that shit, Captain Kurt's sitting over there like a little Cheshire cat that just ate some cheese because he knows it's all bullshit and he can't dare say nothing. He's got to just go along with it.
Are you dropping a video shortly?
Mm-hmm. Kylie's real name is Kylie.
Ain't you internet criminals supposed to be like smart? You ain't.
Come on, Crack Squad. It sure does, man. And it wasn't, I don't believe it was time lapse photos. No. It was an actual video. I believe it was an actual video. And in addition to the actual video, there were time lapse photos that the camera snapped as well. What they did was they took a daytime video of they took a daytime still photo of Prosser from the fire tower, right? And they overlaid the nighttime video over top of it and gave it a little bit of transparency so that you could actually, because in the fire tower video, all you could see were the headlights coming down the road and turning. You couldn't see what they were driving on a road or dirt or whatever. So they did that, and it made it a lot clearer than you could see the road. And you could see her come right down the road, stop at where it teed, and turning right would have taken her out to the highway. Turning left, drove her straight into the water. It dead ended on top of a little 4-foot high knoll. So the water was 4 foot down below the road, and she didn't see the water. She's just driving down the road. And when she realized, oh crap, this road dead ends, I'm headed toward the water, she was headed down that bank and she cut the wheel real sharp and flipped. But yeah, very interesting. Yeah, but I think there was both. I think there was the time lapse videos or pictures and an actual video, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, nobody really thought about it, and you wouldn't. Just because you're the cop in town, you're not going to know what the forestry service is doing all the time. You wouldn't think about a camera 5 miles away. No, I mean, they all have them because they're looking for fires, man. They're looking for embers, smoke. And yeah, I think what they do is they're like 80 megapixel, something like that. And they have a digital zoom. So they take so many, it's got a wide angle lens with a ton of megapixels, so you can digitally zoom it. And so you can take a wide angle picture overlooking a 5 mile area, and it's got so many pixels, you can zoom in on a 300 square foot of it and still have a pretty clear video or pretty clear photo. So that's the concept. And it's not unusual. I would say probably almost every fire tower today has them. The security cameras have them. A lot of security cameras now are, massive amount of megapixels. Yeah, I imagine that bunch. I can't believe. Oh, man. You guys aren't going to believe this. I landed an interview. I got an interview with Jelly Roll's ex-cellmates, cousins, boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, veterinarian's brother. I'm going to be interviewing him on my channel pretty soon. Just thought I'd let you guys know. I mean, since we're, interviewing distant associates, I didn't know that was a thing, or I would have done it a long time ago. Oh, I know that dude with the chewing bacca, spitting it. I'm going to get you. I got 100 people off here. That's why I got 24 subscribers. Me and my 24 subscribers, we're pretty badass. Oh, let's check something else out here. Let's see. Let's look at, Man,
I'm glad that I'm me, Look at all these illiterate, stupid motherfuckers all over the
internet. Look at them saucer blades. Whoa. Damn, son. Dang. That is crazy amount of, that is a crazy amount. An unreal amount of people you got going on there, buddy. I'm telling you right now. California, we like to party. Yeah, look at them eyeballs. Goodness.
with their true crime channel. You hear that? Their true crime channel. You couldn't investigate the gate of an investor's house. You are like those dumbass puppies, the ones that run around with their tongue hanging out of their mouth cross-eyed. The puppy's cute, but It's still fucking stupid, you know? The government is watching this right now, and they're probably scared. Not scared of anything bad. They're probably scared on how unintelligent society is. I mean, look at y'all and y'all's conspiracy
Everybody else is dumb.
theories and all this shit. And you can tell that a lot of these true crime YouTubers, they've never thought for themselves in their entire life. The Glairer, that dude's never completed anything. I mean, look at him. He's in his basement wishing he was a Hardy Boy. Tony Dodge, dude's fucking clueless. He's never been in a fight. He's never been in no drama. He's probably never been arrested. Nothing. He's vanilla. Cinema Shogun. Hell, I'm not even gonna say nothing about that dude. It is what it is. Let's let him live in his own little world. He loves Britney Spears and playing with action figures. Let's let him just keep thinking the world's all gumdrops and cotton candy. I'm cool with that. We're now living in a society where it is okay to be stupid. I don't think it's ever okay to be stupid, because stupid things might happen, and to fix those stupid situations, it needs people who, you know, aren't stupid. Now, the people out there that don't like me and get irritated by me and stuff, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, well, why the fuck you think you're so smart? It's actually the problem. I don't think I'm smart at all, but I'm starting to feel smart. And a lot of older men and women have commented on my channel. And listen, when an older person's talking, you just listen. And I've had hundreds of older folks that's older than me be like, it's the common sense thing.
It's Jelly Roll's ex, cellmates, cousins, girlfriends, brothers, ex-wives, veterinarians, sister. I think. Yeah. So stay tuned. Be a big interview.
Common sense. Now people who
Launch my interview career. That way I can make this like 20-minute condescending video where I tell somebody else, you know, how worthless their YouTube career is, and how I never mention going to Upchurch's house. Why I tell you how many times I've been to his house, and make a video about going to his house, accusing you of being jealous because I went to his house. Well, I tell you that I don't talk about going to his house because I'm way that cool, you know. And I interviewed his cousin's girlfriend, by the way. So, yeah, there's that.
who have common sense are now looking hella smart because the world is having less common sense every fucking year. While people that are in their 40s and 50s are commenting on my stuff, being like, hey, church, just don't even worry about it. They'll never understand, dude. Like, it's a common sense thing. I'm over here fucking, yeah, trying to argue with them. Wham. I shut my mouth for 2 seconds and I learned something from them. I mean, they're right. If anything, they reminded me. What am I arguing with these other people for? The people I'm arguing with aren't smart enough to understand what's in front of their face. Literally in front of their face. Yeah, the actual definition of literally, not using it every other sentence. Another comical thing is thinking you got me. Got me? What do you mean you got me? You're not bothering me. If you were bothering me, do you think I would go in depth for 2 weeks and make all these videos of different angles of scenarios of what possibly could have happened? Yeah, that's to figure out what happened. And look, I know why. And look, those of you that are mad that have true crime channels, I'd be mad too if I've been having a true crime channel for 5 years straight every day of my life, and a damn musician just walks in, smoking a joint, drinking chocolate milk, and does more work than y'all in 2 weeks than you've done the entire time you've had your channel. It probably makes you not even want to do it anymore. And if I was y'all, I would quit doing true crime. I mean, how embarrassing. Your job is you get paid to not solve murders. Damn. I mean, there's people that go to school to be private investigators who do all this stuff to build these skills in their head to be private investigators.
This goes on for a long, long time. I'm talking about everything he knows and how he's so much better and he knows so much more. And then he gets into this whole shit where, I mean, look at them fucking pupils, man. Oh my God. I forgot how bad that looked. Anyway, geez. Yeah. And this is, I think this is one where does he rip his headphones off on this one? So, starts accusing Rand. That's someone else he starts accusing. Everybody was a suspect. Literally everybody. But, you know, he could talk about it and he wasn't a suspect. But if anybody else talked about it, they were a suspect. Anyway, I thought I'd remind you guys how we're here, why we're here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Big shout out to the Otter Creek fans and crew over there doing such a good job beating back the bully. And so, yeah, you can see there's a lot of similarity. Anyway, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Man, I can't believe. I'd be afraid my attorney would resign from the case if I did something that irresponsible, that video. Catch you later.